How to DM a girl on Instagram. Holy fuck! This video has been even more requested than the fucking body language video. I feel like every time I look at my phone or go on the computer, I'm like getting 100 messages telling me, Zeus, do a video on how to DM a girl on Instagram. Hey, Zeus, when's that video on DMing girls coming out? Zeus, we want how to pick up girls on Instagram part 2. Like, holy shit! You guys must have some Victoria's Secret models following you on Instagram that you've been waiting to DM. So as requested, I'm going to be highlighting 3 different ways to DM a girl on Instagram. Let's jump right into it, shall we? Disclaimer: DMing a girl on Instagram has an inherently low success rate, even for a god like me. Too many thirsty guys DMing hot girls 24/7 that it's hard to stand out and build a rapport with a girl over DMs. These tips will help bring your chances up significantly, but they're not perfect. Number 1. Reply to the girl's story. This is perhaps the easiest and most organic way of building a connection with a girl via Instagram. If you reply on her story and make a comment about something she's doing, it comes off a lot more natural and laid back as opposed to the whole, I'm trying to smash that ass left, right, up, down, and sideways ho vibe that you give off when you open with a corny line about sliding into her DMs. For example, if she posts a story about her being in the city, you can be like, hey, I love that part of town. You gotta try out this dope new restaurant around there. Or something to that effect. I used to do this a lot with Snapchat stories, but ever since that dumbass stories update, I barely even use Snapchat anymore, and can't even see the hot girl stories anymore, so I just pull the same move on Instagram. Just make any comment about her story if it makes sense too, and that's it. Don't overcomplicate this shit. Obviously, don't be like, damn girl, you looking sexy as fuck in that beach pic, my erect penis is in my hand and I'm trying to type with the other. You think this shit sounds obvious, but I get some ridiculous ass messages from some guys who say the wackiest shit, and then wonder why the girl isn't responding. I've also noticed that the more you reply to a girl's story on Instagram, the more likely she'll be to reply to your story as well, and it'll help establish a mutual interest in the relationship you guys are developing. Now, you don't want to overuse this tactic and be replying to every single one of her stories, but you should feel free to do it every once in a while to make her feel more comfortable with you and begin breaking that ice. Typically, her response will signal to you whether or not you should continue the conversation from there. I highly recommend starting almost all your DM interactions this way because it's been the most successful for me, and it's the least thirsty and creepy way of initiating contact with a girl. Hey, bonus tip: if it's a girl you already talked to in text, I like to send them funny memes and pictures I come across that relate to something we've talked about before. This is a good way to maintain contact and staying in her mind without seeming desperate and while keeping things natural. Number 2, just do it. If you know a girl that you've talked to in class, have met at parties, or know from school, and you guys follow each other on Instagram, then go ahead and just DM her. For example, the other night I was out at a party and I just went over and started to talk to a girl I was following on Instagram, but never really talked before. I literally just went up to her and said, hey, I think we follow each other on Instagram, and boom, that was it. Conversation started. From there, we started talking for a little and things were going good, but I actually ended up leaving later in the night without saying bye to her. A few minutes later, she had DM'd me asking me if I had left. Boom, that was it. It wasn't weird that she DM'd me because we were just talking earlier and she didn't have my number, so this was the most natural way for her to reach me. As a guy, you can and should do the same. If you see a girl you know from school, just start talking to her in person. And you can always follow up with a DM later if you don't get her number for whatever reason. Additionally, if it's a girl you kind of talk to every once in a while but you don't have her number, just DM her on Instagram and open up the conversation with something you guys talked about before and keep the vibe natural. It's not that weird to DM a girl about something you guys talked about before if you've actually talked to them in the past. So don't overthink it or overcomplicate it. Number 3, the over-the-top message. Now this is the really ballsy approach that will either work really well or fall totally flat. An over-the-top message would be like sending the girl a ball emoji and then following it up by saying something like, oh shit, sorry, I'm not sure how that rolled in there. I personally like this tactic as well because even if the shit ends up not working, it's still funny as fuck and entertains me for a short period of time, so I end up not even caring if it works or not. This also works as a good exercise to get you in the mindset that one individual girl doesn't matter all that much in the grand scheme of things, and that the real goal of talking to girls in the first place anyways is to have fun. I'll have some screenshots of funny ones that I've used in the past for you guys to copy. Actually, now that I think about it, send me the profiles of girls you know that I should DM and try this tactic on. If I get any funny responses, I'll do a video reading all my Instagram DMs. So comment below the usernames of girls I should DM, and I'll take one for the team and smash them all for you bros. Number 4, like a bunch of her pictures. Now, if you're a good-looking guy, or have a really popping Instagram, or you already know the girl is kind of into you, you can go and like her 3 most recent pictures on Instagram and see if she likes some of your pictures. Now, speaking of having a really popping Instagram, you should definitely check out my video on how to properly set up your Instagram profile so girls think you're cool. If you haven't checked it out, then bro, come on. You're gonna get like 2 likes on your pics, so go check it out. If she likes some of your pictures in return, then feel free to just DM her and be like, hey, add some more on Snapchat, and then give her your Snapchat and boom, you're done. I've only ever done this a couple of times with girls I was pretty sure that were into me, but this isn't the most successful option. It is simple and to the point though. So if you're looking for efficiency, then this might be a good option for you. Number 5, join the Based Lifestyle community and ask other Based Olympians for their DM tactics. If you don't know, I just recently launched a Slack channel, which is basically like a Discord server but a little more professional. There are a bunch of other Based Olympians helping each other out with texting problems, working advice, fashion and style advice, even tips on how to be more confident around girls. The beauty of this is that it's in real time. So anytime you're DMing a girl and don't know what to say, you can just screenshot that bad boy and drop it in the chat and get help from me and a ton of other Based Olympians. We actually just recently had a whole discussion in there about this one guy who was trying to DM a girl, and we all helped him come up with the best response to try to help him get the girl. This is dope because then everyone else learns as well, and it helps increase your game with girls exponentially. I'll have it linked below at the top of the description for you guys to check out. Hey, and that's it, man. In summary, reply to the girl's story, just do it, try out the over-the-top messages, like a bunch of her pics and follow up with a DM, and join the Based Lifestyle community for on-demand advice.